Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. All right, originally I was going to make this video about the draft winners and the draft losers from last night, right? I was going to grade them out and make a video on it. You know what? I think I'm going to wait until tomorrow to do that, or maybe just later tonight, because I've just been pushing out so much content lately, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. And right now is the peak of the NBA in my mind. I am a draft guy. I've been from the moment of birth because of the Sixers. The Sixers have sucked forever, and it's made me fall in love with college prospects and the idea of potential and the idea of what can possibly come from a guy that we just drafted. I've always have just been fascinated with the draft. And so last night, I'm a kid in the candy store. It's my favorite night of the year. And let me just tell you, first and foremost, the 76ers knocked it out of the park in every single way that they could have yesterday. This video is just going to break down the three prospects that the Sixers ended up walking away with. I'm not going to talk about Seth Curry again. I'm not going to talk about the deal that sent Josh Richardson to Dallas for Seth Curry. I'm not going to talk about the Al Horford trade. That's all has to do with drafts winners and losers. Wink, wink. The Sixers are a winner. So I'm just going to get right into it. With the 58th pick in the draft, the 76ers selected Paul Reed. He's a two-way. I think he's going to be a two-way contract guy for Philadelphia. I think he has. I think it's a good pick, and now let me tell you why. All right. First of all, he's a 4 from DePaul. He's super athletic, right? He is out of the gym athletic. He's long. He has a long wingspan. I think he can play a small ball 5 in the modern NBA if the Sixers can develop him into worthy of being on a court at a lengthy period of time, for sure. I think, like I said, he's an awesome athlete. The kid was top 15 in the nation in rebounding per game last year. That says something. He has a motor. He's a very good motor. He wants to get rebounds. He's a hustle guy. He is a fantastic defender. I think that above anything is what he is. He excels most at. He had around 2 steals a game last year and over 2 blocks a game as well. I think it was 2.5. I could be wrong, but that's impressive, man. He is just so energetic on the defensive end, and he's so athletic, and his wingspan is so long that I think he will be a fantastic defender in the NBA. I think if anything doesn't work out other than that, I think he's going just to be a great defending big guy off the bench for the Philadelphia 76ers for a pretty long period of time to come. I think it's awesome value at 58, and I'm excited. I didn't really know much about Paul Reed before yesterday. I did a lot of research this morning on Reed himself. I watched a lot of tape. I watched a lot of just scouting of Paul Reed. I saw a lot of people have him go in the late first, early second, so the fact that we grabbed him at the 58 spot, I think that's really good. He has a really, really good step to the basket, too. He's a quick first step. He is a long first step. And surprisingly, he does really well with a few dribbles. Now, he can't dribble around the perimeter because that's just not the guy he is, right? He's not going to be creating opportunities for himself to score with his dribble. But I think with a blow-by ability, I think Paul Reed is pretty good. I mean, like, if he develops a much better shot from outside, you could give him to the top of the key, a little pump fake, and then 1, 2, 3, yam. That's something that can seriously be in his arsenal for a long period of time if he can just scare defenders off with the shot, make people believe he's going to shoot. Now, with his weaknesses, number one, it's just his shooting mechanics. His shot looks eerily similar to Kevin Garnett, and I love the big ticket, man. He's one of my favorite players ever, but he doesn't have a pretty shot, and he was never really a great shooter. I mean, he shot really well from 18 feet out as a mid-range scorer, but he wasn't a three-point specialist, but he didn't really need to be either. However, I think if Paul Reed can just fix his shooting mechanics a little bit better, I think he'll become a better, consistent shooter. He shot 30% from 3, but he shot a lot of three-pointers, and he just has a willingness to shoot, and I respect that. His passing and decision-making are atrocious. I mean, atrocious. And the fact that he just needs to get much stronger, and he will never be a back-to-the-basket type of scorer. A comparison that I have is a taller Jeremy Grant without the good shooting that Jeremy Grant has developed into having the past couple seasons, which is a good steal at 58. I think if you have a ceiling of Jeremy Grant there, hell yeah, take that pick. Philadelphia should have never traded Jeremy Grant to begin with, so let's bring in another one a little bit taller than him. An athletic guy who can seriously just, if he can develop a shot, he can be a consistent contributor to the Sixers. Then the Sixers, before that, in the second round, 49 selected Isaiah Joe. He's 6'5". He's 180 pounds. He's a combo guard with a 6'10" wingspan, right, from Arkansas. Now, I love Isaiah Joe. Philadelphia promised them earlier that they were going to draft him, and I was like, well, he's available 49. There's no shot Philadelphia passes up. The fact that he fell that far is surprising. I think maybe medically he doesn't check out because he fell that far. That was his big problem going into last night, was his medical reports. Now, maybe Philadelphia saw something and promised him to not work out to other teams because he's healthier than people think. His strengths are simple, man. He is a three-point deadeye. He did not shoot great from three last year, but he's still a great shooter. He has an awesome shooting mechanic. The jump shot's perfect. He shoots from limitless range area. His shooting mechanics are great. He's just a great spot-up shooter. And he has an awesome ability to create his own shot, which is cool because he's a good combo guard. Maybe bring him off the bench. He can give you some type of bench scoring that you don't need Ben on the court to give it to him for. Awesome catch-and-shoot ability, too. He's just a great guy to get the ball in the hoop. Now, my thing with him is he's too weak right now. He needs to gain a lot of weight. He does not get to the rim nearly enough. Like, he avoids it at all costs. But, I mean, I guess when you're 180 pounds, you can't blame the guy. But he needs to bulk up because that is where all of his problems come from. He cannot shoot off screens for shit either, for some reason. I have no idea how, because he's a great spot-up shooter and he's a great transitional three-point shooter. But for coming off a screen, it's just like, he's got the yips all of a sudden. He just can't shoot. And that's tough because in the NBA, you need to, if you're going to be a shooter, you need to score off of a pick and roll or off of a pick, I mean. And his shot selection is not great. But I never have a problem with guys with bad shot selection in college because so much goes into that as college prospects. Personally, I think those problems are the first thing to get fixed in the NBA, especially when you have Ben Simmons and Embiid in a good environment like Philadelphia is right now for young guys. He's not going to be forcing shots. He doesn't need to force shots. And he shoots 77% from the line, which is really good, and it's a fun thing to look at when it comes to improvement as a shooter. I think, for some reason, free throw percentage translates to improving on jump shots more than jump shots in college, which is it's always been strange to me, but I mean, it's true. So you gotta understand that. And he's a really good defender. He had 1.4 steals a game last year, and he has incredible length. Like I said, he's a 6'10" wingspan, and that helps him get into passing lanes. That helps him poke the ball free a lot. He's a really good on-ball defender, but he needs to bulk up because if he doesn't bulk up, he is going to struggle to make a name for himself in the league. Comparisons, I have a less... I don't know. I'm going to say it. All right, I'm not going to even adjust it. My comparison to him was Malik Monk. I loved Malik Monk in college, but he just was undersized, and he's just kind of been eh. Now I have Isaiah Joe as Malik Monk. I also saw Isaiah Joe from Hoops Intellect, awesome channel, you check it out, compared to Jordan Poole, which I thought was interesting because Jordan Poole has that limitless range ability, and I really like that comparison, so I'm going to use that. Then in the first round, the Philadelphia 76ers, obviously, at the 21st pick, selected Tyrese Maxey. He's 6'3", he's around 195, 200 pounds, and he's a 6'6" wingspan. Now, I think it was a no-brainer pick at the time. I still think it was a no-brainer pick. I don't think Maxey ever should have fallen down that far, but I'm glad that he did. Now, I think he has an elite ability to score at all three levels. He is very crafty inside against bigs. He loves drawing contact, and he still finishes it through it. And he's undersized. He's 6'3", but he has an awesome ability to finish through contact, which is impressive. Also, man, I just think he's going to be a great shooter alongside Ben. His shot 29% from three, but I think that is very clouded because of the college way of basketball. I think he's going to be very, very good from three in the NBA. He has a great shot. His mechanics are fine. He's good, and it's very consistent, too. He doesn't change his shot up. His motion doesn't change, and that's very important to look into a prospect. So I think he's going to be a good shooter in the NBA. But my thing is he has a very high motor, right? He's always playing hard, and that is why he is such an incredible defender. I think he is serious defensive potential. I mean, he's just really, really good. He beats guys to the spot. He's really quick, and he always seems to beat guys to a spot. He is a quick defender. He's very good at recovering off of screens, going under, going over. He's very good at recovering. I think maybe switchability and versatility maybe won't be the greatest thing for him right now in the NBA because of his size, but I think if he can gain a little bit of weight, I think there's definitely potential there to be able to guard a couple positions. But like I said, his motor is awesome. His his off the dribble way to create his own bucket, impressive. I think he's an awesome bench guy to have on a contending team right now because he has upside, but he also has a floor that is good enough to contribute right now. His spot-up shooting is good. He's always found an ability of himself to find a good shot. He's a fantastic finisher, like I said, around the rim, and his floater game is just smooth, man. It's pretty to watch. And he's undersized, and that's something you need to have as an undersized guard like he is. So I think that's really good. Now, like Isaiah Joe, man, his size is the reason to a lot of his problems. He needs to get bigger. I wish he could grow, maybe a little Anthony Davis length, because I think if Maxey, instead of being 6'3", is 6'6", he's a top 5 pick in the NBA draft. So I hopefully he gets a little bigger, bulkier, he gets stronger. His shot selection, not great in college, but like I said with Joe, I think it's something that gets fixed quickly in the NBA, given good developmental guys around him and a good system, and I think Philadelphia is a very good environment for somebody like that right now. So efficiency from three, like I said, he shot 29%, but I think it's going to only go up. Just the shots he was putting up at Kentucky was so much more difficult than what he's going to see in the NBA. I think that's awesome. Like I said, his size is just a big problem, but the biggest problem of his is his ability to pass the basketball, his court vision, because they're not good. They're not good. That's why he fell along with his size. It's just he doesn't pass well out of double teams. He doesn't find when he's driving the rim to the rim, he misses a lot of bigs that are open because of his knack to want to score. Now, I respect that, but at the same time, he needs to lose tunnel vision a little bit more, and he needs to open up and see what's going on around him. I think if his court awareness was better, he's all-star potential. I really believe it. If he can literally average 5 assists a game, if eventually at some point of his career he's averaging 5 assists a game, I'm probably seeing him get like 20 points a game, 5 and 5. And that's borderline Eastern All-Star, you know what I mean? So I think Tyrese Maxey has a high ceiling. I think it's a great pick. My comparison for him is interesting. Like, I think maybe a better defending Lou Williams. I also believe a better defending yet less shooting Colin Sexton. I think maybe shots are similar with them, but I think Colin Sexton's a better point guard, basically. Tyrese Maxey is not a point guard, which hurts him because he's undersized. So, again, if Maxey can, facilitate a little bit better, that is going to be so big for his development. So, more than anything, I hope he just becomes a better facilitator and can play point guard when Ben Simmons is not on the court, because that's what we need. I think that's why we drafted him. You can have Maxey at the 1 when Ben's off the court, and if Maxey can provide consistent, just reliable scoring and playing, that would be significant for the Philadelphia 76ers. All right, later today I might be coming out with a video on either draft grades or the winners and losers of the draft. You guys let me know in the comment section what you would rather like. Yo, I appreciate all the support I've been getting lately. I just had a video over like 1.2K views. That's the most I've ever had, so that's fucking sweet. Just everybody, consistently do our thing. Let's grow this channel. Subscribe, like, let's go Sixers. Hopefully we don't trade for Harden. Hopefully we keep Ben and Joel. But hopefully we continue making moves, because I think there are moves to be made. Bogdanovich. So let me know what you all think. Let me know what you think about the draft. Let me know how you think Philadelphia did. We didn't get Bane or Terry. Let me know. Yeah, until next time, guys.